Happy to have you guys in here on Home Track Heroes in the CW11. Caleb Hart, Greg Pyland, and we move on to a small class of cars. Not small in numbers, there's a lot of them, but the Legends, some of the tiniest race cars we see out there, and some of the most fun. It's one of the biggest growing divisions in the Northwest, and they're ready for their season finale here at Evergreen Speedway.
And great turnout here tonight, too, for championship night to see all of these Legend cars out here. It's kind of exciting to see 30 laps around our 3/8 oval as we bring you the starting lineup here.
Chad Sinner, the prospective division champion, starts in the pole in the 11C. Next to him, it's Davis Jacobson, the 15D, sponsored by Evergreen Concrete Cutting.
We have the 37 of Mason Nelson, sponsored by Dirt Cheap Sewer, and the 11M of Rick McNeil.
Brian Carlson starts in the 5th position. Max Power Law, the sponsor of the 25. Next to him in the 6th spot, the 81 of Jeff Mueller.
4th row back, we have the 35 of Marissa Sawin, sponsored by Mr. Dizzy Motorsports, and the 09 of Cole Alton, sponsored by Central Welding Supply.
Your 9th place starter, Brandon Cole, in the 25X. 10th place starter, the 4 of Lance Mackey.
Next row back, it's the 76 of Corey Boyle, sponsored by Absolute Auto Care Gig Harbor, and the 55 of Austin Conan, sponsored by Ford of Kirkland.
Starting 13th, Ernie Estrin in the LB Motorsports number 32. 14th place starter, Chris Thompson, the LB Motorsports number 10.
In the 15th spot, it's the 15 of Kurt Boyle, sponsored by Absolute Auto Care. In the 16th spot, the 82 of Angel Cervantes.
In the 98, Aaron Flett, Kent Collision Center, his sponsor, and then the 21 of Chris Rice.
We have the 11R of Samantha Schwartz and the 30 of Scott Jansen.
20 cars going 30 times around on the 3/8. It's Legend car time here on the CW11 Home Track Heroes. Green flag is out. Let's watch how they fan out, and let's watch how they do it, as we have seen some chaos on these drivers in, out, and through. Legend main events have been spectacular, to say the least, as we've seen some carnage, we've seen some great racing, and from the drop at the very start, Sinner with a nice opening lap holds the early lead. A little strange seeing Sinner without a green race car out here, as for many, many years, as he worked his way up in the Northwest, in through mini sprints, and then in the Legends, he's had a green race car. Decided to change things up a little bit tonight, apparently.
Yeah, he's in Matt Pioli's car, actually, the 66, but running for Chad himself with the 11C, and you see he kept a little bit of green, so on the driver's side front rim there, he's still running that green rim, so had to bring a little bit of that magic, that green magic to the race tonight.
It's been something that he and his dad Scott have done for many, many moons. So Sinner out, set a very good pace here. In the 2nd spot, that's Davis Jacobson. I'm sorry, make that Rick McNeil, and then Mason Nelson currently holding the 3rd spot. As you can see, a good battle going on 4th and 5th right now. Jacobson and Cole advancing a lot of spots early here in this one. He started 9th, and he's already up in the top 5.
Yeah, right behind the 37 of Mason Nelson, as we see Brandon Cole now working to the inside out of turn number 4, and now able to get by. There's the 25 of Brian Carlson getting by Davis Jacobson.
Carlson's got a fast race car. We've seen him do some good things here at Evergreen Speedway as well, as they string out down the back straightaway. These cars, 4-cylinder cars, very teeny, tiny, short wheelbases, and it seems like I talk about it every time I get a chance to see them on Home Track Heroes, but there's a lot of power in them. These cars are very twitchy, so you've got to be very smooth on the wheel to keep the wheels underneath you and keep going straight.
Yeah, and it's great to see some clean racing out here so far. Like you said, sometimes we see some issues with this division, but they're doing really well so far here, as we see the 25 once again trying to get by. That's Brian Carlson trying to get around Davis Jacobson. As we look back up there on the inside, there's Brian Carlson, and there the 25X of Brandon Cole working to the inside of Mason Nelson as well.
So Cole in the 25X, Carlson in the 25, couple of 25s making some moves early on in this one, as we're already 7 laps in the books, and McNeil running down Sinner in the battle of the 11 cars up at the front of this field. So that's about to get a little more intense as you watch the rest of the drivers fanning out in and through. Marissa Sawin's 35 in your picture leading that pack.
Yeah, and then coming around the corner here, there's the 37 Mason Nelson just out of your screen there, the 25X of Brandon Cole. So Brandon Cole now up into that 3rd spot as Marissa Sawin leads into turn number 1, now working into turn number 2. The 09, that's Cole Alton, right behind the 35 of Marissa Sawin as you go back up to your leader. The 11C of Chad Sinner coming out of turn number 4.
That lead pack's starting to get a little bit tight. It is Sinner, McNeil, Cole rapidly running down the top 2. As you can see, they're almost nose to tail at the apex of turns 1 and 2. McNeil continuing to harass Sinner out in front. Now, Sinner's been in this position before. This is Chad's 3rd straight Legend Championship. That's the only Evergreen Speedway Legend champ ever in the history of it being a local division here at the track. So Well done, Chad. But he is under pressure, and he's under a lot of it. McNeil had a little peek to the inside. Now Cole is right up on McNeil, making this awfully interesting.
Yeah, look at this battle for first place. How exciting is this as you have McNeil and Cole right on the back bumper of the 11C of Chad Center as they work their way into turn number 2 and head towards the backstretch. But now a little bit of separation there as we see Brandon Cole and the 25X get a little bit too low in turn number 2, but right back in it as they come into turn number 3 as there goes McNeil, also taking another look to the high side, not able to close it there, is now going to look to the low side on Chad Center as they come down the front stretch.
Well, McNeil making a phone call to the inside groove in turn 1 using his T-Mobile phone. T-Mobile, our segment sponsor and a proud sponsor of Evergreen Speedway. Thank you to our friends at T-Mobile for keeping us connected.
And great call there as we come back into turn number 4 and head down the front stretch, still following Chad Center with 16 laps now to go.
And caution lights out and onto the raceway as we've got a car that's Ernie Estrin who turned it around in corner number 2. So Estrin brings our main event to its first stoppage, and that gives all those top 3 a chance to reset, catch their breath, and make a new plan of attack. If you're Center, you got some fast race cars in and behind you. If you're McNeil, if you're Cole, time to maybe formulate a new plan of attack.
Absolutely, yeah. And Chad Center been doing so good, so long in this race, or so far in this race, but you see McNeil and the 25X of Brandon Cole now finding right back behind the 11M of Rick McNeil on the high side, Chad Center on the low side in that front row, the 25X of Brandon Cole now on the low side in row number 2, so going to be awful interesting as we work towards this restart.
You've seen a lot of main events here at Evergreen Speedway, and you know anytime you give one of those drivers the advantage of getting to start side by side on one of these restarts, strange things can happen. And there's McNeil, who's got a nose on Center going into the first corner. Let's see how it shakes out. Off of 2. Boy, even Steven down the back straightaway. McNeil noses ahead getting into 3.
Yeah, a great side-by-side battle between the 11M of Rick McNeil and the 11C of Chad Center, as Center on the low side as they come out of turn number 4 across the start-finish line. And here comes the 25X of Brandon Cole, working to the low side of Rick McNeil. Not enough speed carried into turn number 2, but down the backstretch, Brandon Cole side-by-side with the 11M of Rick McNeil.
Center did a great job of not panicking with McNeil up and around his outside and ahead of him for just a blink of an eye. Gets it back, and now it's McNeil drifting backwards. Here's Cole looking to the inside on Center, and Center had a push going into turn number 1. That might do it.
And look at that now, side by side as they head down the backstretch, the 25X of Brandon Cole, Chad Center on the high side as they come into turn 3, and now completely out in front the 25X of Brandon Cole as they work out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. And we are now going to have 14 laps to go in this INEX Legend main event.
You just saw Center make a really veteran move, knowing that he was beat getting into turn number 3, quickly getting back to the inside of the corner so he didn't push out and lose even more ground. So smart move by Center, knowing that, okay, I'm beat for the spot right now, but let's tuck in and not lose any more ground or positions, as it's not like Cole's getting away from him yet. Center's still right on his rear bumper as we're just beyond halfway in this.
Yeah, it's a great point. The 11M Rick McNeil and the 37 of Mason Nelson right behind, as is the 25. That's Bryant Carlson in that 5th spot. So Chad Center making a good move there, getting right back behind the 25X of Brandon Cole as we have 13 laps to go, but it's the 25X Brandon Cole leading this pack here.
You can see most of the drivers choosing to hug the low groove right now and wait for something to happen up ahead of them. There's not a lot of them experimenting with the high groove. Racetrack a little bit cold right now. Sun's gone down. Temperature's not up there as much, not as sticky as you would expect it to be at this point in time. Cole continuing to lead the pack, trying to stretch a little bit from Center. You can see he's added about 3 car lengths worth of space in these very, very tiny race cars.
All right, your leader coming out of turn number 4 and down the front stretch, the 25X of Brandon Cole, knocking off another lap there. 11 laps to go with Chad Center in the 11C in that 2nd spot, the 11M of Rick McNeil. There goes Mason Nelson getting a little bit wide. The 25 of Bryant Carlson goes to the low side. So now up into 4th, it's the 25 of Bryant Carlson, able to get around the 37 of Mason Nelson down the backstretch.
That's what you got to do. Guy ahead of you makes a mistake, you got to be in position to capitalize on it. So Carlson to 4th. See if he's got anything for the lead pack of cars, as we're down to 10 laps left here in the final Legend main event of the year here on Home Track Heroes. 9 to go. And leader and stretching is Brandon Cole's 25X.
Yeah, and Chad Center doing a great job. There's a 35, Marissa Sawin, coming out of turn number 1 into turn number 2, the 09 of Cole Alton. Right behind, and it looks like Cole Alton's going to be tucked back behind now. I thought he was going to take a look to the low side, now coming into turn number 3, trying to take a look to the low side. Nothing there, as Marissa Sawin doing a great job holding off Cole Alton in the 09 as they come down the front stretch.
Those two racing for positions number 6 and 7. Marissa, the daughter of Shane Sawin, who's been around Evergreen Speedway for a long time, name you might recognize, and she's really picking it up and figuring out the Legend division here a little bit later in the season. Good battle between her and Alton for 6th and 7th. It is Sawin in the blue with gold leaf number 35 with white trim, and Alton, the car right in behind her, just waiting for something to happen.
All right, back up to your leader, the 25X of Brandon Cole, now with a bigger advantage over the 11C of Chad Sinner, working their way into turn number 4. Now coming down the front stretch, it's going to be another lap down, now 6 laps to go.
In and behind him, and running in that 3rd spot, McNeil all over Sinner, just has not been able to figure it out to get around him. Seems like they have been connected by magnets all race long here. It's really allowing Cole to get away, you know, on Harang, just out having a nice evening stroll around the racetrack, as Sinner having to work really hard to keep McNeil off, and McNeil has just not found the combination of where to have his race car at the right time to get around Chad Sinner.
Yeah, like I said, great point. Brandon Cole is loving this battle right now for second, as Sinner and McNeil are going back and forth, and still in that 4th spot. It's a 25 of Brian Carlson, but just allowing the 25X of Brandon Cole to be free out there, and no worries as the 11C of Chad Sinner right now holding off the 11M of Rick McNeil as we work our way down the backstretch into turn number 3. Going to be 3 laps to go next time by for Brandon Cole as we work our way out of turn number 4 and down the front stretch, and there we are, 3 to go.
Might have been a little hard to see from our perspective, but I think a couple of laps ago we might have actually had some rear bumper to front bumper action between Sinner and McNeil coming off the 4th corner. As you can see, those drivers kind of spread out a little bit, getting into 1 and 2 that time by. Now they're back up and on it. McNeil back on the attack. Time running out, and again, Brandon Cole loving that battle in behind him, and Chad Sinner's just having to play a lot of defense to try to hold on to second here in the late stages.
And here we see Brandon Cole coming up on a little bit of lap traffic into turn number 3. Cole's going to try and work to the low side as they come into turn number 4 and down the front stretch. No problems there, able to get around, and that looks like that might be Angel Cervantes as they get around into turn number 1 and turn 2. And there goes an issue. Chad Sinner in turn number 2 runs in, and we are down into a caution. It looks like here as we have the 25X of Brandon Cole coming into turn number 4.
However, the white flag had thrown, so there's your checkered flag, and there is your winner. It is going to be Brandon Cole getting the victory. Brian Carlson is going to take second with both McNeil and Sinner involved. Mason Nelson going to get credit for 3rd here at the Legends. So that is it. Interesting finish and a great win for Brandon Cole. Nice job for him. And Chad Sinner, even though that last lap was not his favorite, still going to get his championship, his 3rd straight in the Legends division. So congratulations to him. Let's get a look as Sinner, your champion, doing donuts, but you know, could have been a little better finish for him, even with that ever happened in turn 2.
Yeah, you might have to call up Matt Pioli and tell him, hey, so sorry about the 66 in turn number 2, but able to win the championships. A great year for the 2021 champion. That's the 11C of Chad Sinner.
Might have to buy him some new tires, too.
That's right.
Yes. All right, well, let's go talk to Chad and your top 3 down in Victory Lane.
So, Chad, you've been a total blast to watch all season long. You're driving, I think, Pioli's car tonight, the 66, but overall, just a great race. I know you didn't want it to finish that way, but great season overall.
Yeah, the season was up and down. Made the best of it. Can't thank Matt Pioli for the chance to drive the car tonight. Mazda of Everett, Terrific Towing, Palmer's East in Redmond, Imperial Auto Salon, Elevate Racing Media, Brandy Hood Promotions for putting a GoPro on my car all year. Everything means a lot to get this done this year.
All right, Brandon, first off, just tell us who's accepting the trophy with you tonight.
This is my daughter, Kinsley. She loves coming to them and hanging out, having a good time.
So great finish for you, the 2021 season. The 25X out there looks so sharp. You were out in front of the 11C for quite some time, but you were able to pass on by and take home the victory tonight.
Yeah, the car's been a rocket ship all day, man. We've just been sitting back, having fun, and that was the goal of the last race here, was just go out, have fun, and whatever happened, happened.
Tell us about the sponsors for for you?
Sponsors. Black Lake Towing does a big portion of it. Northwest Truck and Equipment Repair. You got Quality Heating and Air. My buddy Justin, he helps us out. There's a lot of people. Jared at the shop, Parker at the shop. Well, Parker races. Jared's here. Jake's here with us today. You know, it's just all these people help us out, and we couldn't do it without them.
All right, Brian, first off, tell us who you have up here accepting the trophy tonight.
This is my niece, Chelsea, and Harper.
So pretty wild finish to that race, but the 25 looked awful good out there tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I wish we could have finished it under green, but a little weird circumstances, so it was a good night.
All right, tell us about your sponsors tonight that you've had all season long.
Max Powers joined this year. Hopefully I can get him next year.
All right, Mason, so we talked to you before the race started. You said you were just looking to put a nice finish to the 2021 season. I think you did this tonight with a third-place finish.
Yeah, it's kind of surreal because we came out this morning and we had, at the time we thought it was battery issues, but then it turned out something with our starter. So then we're trying to get our setup right by qualifying because we only had one practice by then.
So great finish for you tonight. Third place, Mason Nelson, driver of the 37. Tell us about your sponsors that helped you all season long.
I just want to thank my mom, dad, Rick, grandparents, Bryson, Dirt Cheap Sewer, and my fans.